A very good morning, children. How are you? I hope all of you are doing fine. Today, children, we are going to start a new chapter of English in language book, that is Verbs Modals. You can take out this chapter in your language book. So, what are modals? Modals are verbs which express the mood or attitude of a speaker. So, through modals, we come to know the mood, the expression of the speaker, that is called a modal. So let us see a few examples. See the first example, you should regularly visit your dentist. So here the speaker, he is giving an advice to someone. Should indicates advice. They must attend tomorrow's meeting. In the second sentence, there is some kind of a compulsion. A necessity is there. So must, it indicates necessity or compulsion. May I use your pen? So in this sentence, the speaker, he is asking for permission. May indicates permission. You can park the car in front of our house. Here permission is being given, which is indicated by can. Then see the fifth sentence, you may take this book home. Here the permission is being given in a different manner, in a formal manner. Could you please open the door? Here someone is making a request. So all these different words, should, must, may, can, may, could, all these different words, they are showing us the mood of the speaker. So let us see, children, the commonly used modals. Which are the modals which we are going to study in this chapter? Can, could, may, might, will, would, shall, should, must, ought to, need, dare. So all these modals we are going to study in this chapter. Now let us see some description about the modals. Let us see in detail. Modals are always followed by a main verb. So when we say should play, so the modal should has been followed by a main verb play. They cannot stand on their own unless they are used in a question tag. So you can see in this example, the example's been given. Can park, must attend. The modals, they have been followed by verbs. Only in question tags the modals, they can be used alone. Question tags, children, you have done in chapter 1, the sentence. Now see the second point, modals do not change form with the person and number of the subject. So with different persons, first person, second person, third person, we use the same modal. It does not change its form. Must remains must. And according to the number also, they can, she can, we use the same modal. So the modal, it does not changes its form. Now see the third point, the main verb used after a modal must be in the root form. So we use the first form of the main verb which has been used after a modal. Now let us come to the first type of modal which indicates permission, and we are using three modals for indicating permission, that is may, can and could. Now let us see what difference is there in the usage of all these three words which have been used for permission. Can is informal, may is polite, could is more polite than may. So when we are talking to friends or very close people along with whom we have an informal relationship, we use can with them. When we want to be polite to someone and we want to ask for permission, then we use may. When we want to be very polite, for example, a person who is talking to his officer, his boss, or a student talking to the principal, they want to be very polite. So then we use could. So these are the three models which are being used for permission. Now let us see which modals are used to show ability. Can, could, be able to. So we use all these three modals to show ability, whether a person is able to do something or not. So what is the difference in the use of can, could and be able to? The idea of ability is expressed by can. In this sense, can means be able to, be capable of, know how to, and ability in the past is expressed by could. Can is used for present, could is used for past ability. Can and could also suggest opportunity. So let us see here. They have given in very short: can ability in the present, could ability in the past, be able to can suggest any time. Can and could are also used for showing general ability, and be able to is used for both the situation, particular situation or general ability. Now let us see the modals which are used to show possibilities. May suggests a good possibility. Three modals are used for this, for showing possibility: may, might and could. May is used if there is a good possibility, could is used if there is a very weak possibility, and might is used if there is a weak possibility. So for good possibility we use may. For a weak possibility where chances are less for something to happen, there we use might. And where chances are very less, a very weak possibility is there for something, then we use could. Now let us see suggestion, advice, duty. Words, the modals which are used for suggesting, for advising and for showing duty or some kind of obligation. So we use two words for that. One is should, other is ought to. So what is the difference in should and ought to? Should is used to suggest suggestion or advice. When we want to give suggestion to someone, when we want to give advice to someone, whether they want to follow that advice or not, that is their choice, then we use should. And ought to is a little stronger than should. It suggests that something is right thing to do. It also suggests a sense of duty. So when we add a sense of duty, something which is right to be done, a moral duty is there. So for conveying that sense, that mood, we use ought to. So when we want to say should we start packing the luggage, when we want to suggest, then we use should. When we want to indicate a moral duty, you ought to take care of your old parents. That is your moral duty. So there we use ought to. Now let us come to promise children. So which are the models which suggest some kind of promise? Will and shall are used to suggest promise. So otherwise we have done before that we use shall with only first person subjects. With I and we use shall, and with remaining persons we use will. But if a promise is to be suggested, then the opposite things we use. We use will with the first person subjects and shall with the remaining subjects. For example, we will attend your brother's marriage. Along with we have used will, and along with you, we have used shall. Now let us see the modals which are used to indicate request. Will you leave me alone, please? So here a person is requesting, and which words we use for indicating request? We use would, won't, can and could. Let us see here. Will, won't, would, can all be used to make request. Can is used for informal situation. Would and could are more polite than will and can. Could, it is uncertain that the request will be accepted. So when it is not certain whether whatever I am requesting, it will be accepted or not, then we use could. Could and would are more polite than will and can. The past forms, they are more polite than the present forms. Now let us see necessity and compulsion. Which modals are used for indicating necessity and compulsion? Must, have to, had to, have got to, will have to. So basically two words are there, must and have to. We use must and have to indicate necessity and compulsion. So two types of necessity and compulsion can be there. One is when a person feels it necessary himself, and one is where some external compulsion is there, when someone else is making it compulsory. So let us see what the difference is there in both. Must suggests the desire of the person. We use must when the compulsion is from the speaker's side, and we use have to when the compulsion is from some other person, from external thing, not from the speaker. Then come to needn't. Needn't suggests the absence of necessity or compulsion. When there is no necessity or compulsion, then we use needn't. Now come to prohibition. When you want to stop someone from doing something, we use must not, ought not to. So must not we use when something is prohibited, and we use ought to where it is as a moral duty, you should not do something. There we use ought to. For indicating wish, we use may. May is normally used to express a wish. Now let us come to the last one, that is dare. Dare as a modal means not to be afraid to do something. It is used mostly in negative sentences and in questions. So when someone is not afraid of doing something, we use dare. And we use it mostly in negative sentences and in questions. When dare is used as a normal verb, negatives and questions are formed with do or did. So that is all for today, children. And I am sending you the exercise. Do it in your language notebook and do the book exercises also of all chapters of language which we have done recently. That is all for today, children. Thank you.